everybody, and welcome back to my channel. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing in 2022? This is the first video of 2022. It's been a year that I've been on YouTube. It's been a year that I've been doing this makeup and true crimes of Canada. It's a new year, new me, new everything until I break it. What's your guys' resolutions? What's your guys' whatever? What are you guys doing? Like, what do you guys want to do? What are you guys channeling? What are you guys manifesting into the new year? I'd like to know, so make sure you guys enter it down below so we can talk about it. We can see how each other's doing in the community. We can see if we're both doing our New Year's resolutions, and we can just, keep it going. What else is new? What'd you guys do for New Year's? I'll tell you a couple of my New Year's resolutions. One is I will be drinking more water. The other one is reading 10 books by the end of 2020. I have another one going to be, just trying to open up a small business, trying to collab with other artists here in town, be more focused and get 1,000 subscribers to my YouTube channel, just things like that. I'm also going to try to go all of 2022 without drinking, which is a big one. So I'm super excited about that. And just getting more healthy with my life. Those are kind of the ones I wrote them all down. I'm kind of been sticking to them. I've also been more productive in work lately. It's my first week back from having a vacation, and I've been just trying my hardest to be so productive. So yeah, let me know what you guys is in. And I don't think I introduced myself. For the guys who don't know me here, my name is Maclean, and I'm here every Thursday to bring you a true crime that has happened here in Canada. So if you guys have a true crime that you guys want me to talk about, please link it down below. Please let me know, and I will do some research, and I will bring you all the facts and stories of what has happened with that true crime. So today we got a good one. Today we got a guy who, I always want to say a good one, but people died. So today we got a story about a guy who immigrated to Canada, but his mom was originally from here, immigrated to Canada, and decided that, you know what? I'm going to go back to my old roots. I'm going to do a terrorist attack on Canada. So we're going to be talking about, I think his name, how you pronounce this, is Zehaf-Bibeau, and how he stormed the Capitol. And when I say stormed the Capitol, I don't mean stormed the Capitol like our good old friends down in the States. I mean came in guns blazing and wanted to end it all. I'm doing something different in the sense that the way I'm filming, I can't see myself, which is bizarre to me. I am not sure how I like it, but we're just going to roll with it. And like I said last time, I'm going to really try to show you guys the products I'm using while I tell the story and just, get with it. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, Zehaf-Bibeau, and I'm going to start with his backstory, and then I'm going to move on to his life. So let's get into it. So Zehaf-Bibeau, I'm just going to say Bibeau from now on, or Zehaf. I'll just say Zehaf from now on. Grew up in Eastern Canada, including Ottawa and Montreal. So I used the milk primer. His mother is Susan Bibeau. She's a French Canadian, just a typical all around regular girl, French Canadian, who's from Quebec, from Montreal, and a deputy chairperson of the Division of Canada Immigration. So very successful, knew exactly what she wanted to do, and just pushed herself, and nothing wrong or no abuse or anything. His father was a businessman, and he was from Libya, immigrated to Canada, who opened a cafe in Montreal. So again, another orientated business type of person who kind of, took advantage of the immigration and starting over. Ooh. And now I'm going to dip into the true match. Today I think I'm going to do just a nice, regular, normal look. Because I think lately I've been going extreme, and then I've been messing it right up. So he opened the cafe in Montreal. He was reported that he went back to his home country to fight in the Civil War. And he did this right when Gaddafi had his regime and there was an uprising. So he did it for the right reason. He did it because he was like, You know what, my people there, like, if you have Prime, go watch. It's like Dictators or True Evil, I think it might be called. And it's about all the crazy dictators. Like, there was a couple in Japan and stuff that I didn't even know about. And truly, the stuff they did was unspeakable. So he went back and said, no, Gaddafi, we ain't doing this. The couple did split before Zehaf was born. But then they got back together shortly afterwards, and then they were married. Zehaf and Bibi divorced in 1999. So they did finally get a divorce and said, you know what, this ain't working, let's end it, which they did. Zehaf continued to live in Montreal area until 2007, when he spent time in Libya before moving Western Canada and became a miner and a laborer. So he did spend a lot of time, you know, in Canada, kind of moving around, didn't 100% know exactly what he wanted to do, but he was just hanging around his family, living the best life, and just, you know, having fun. And that's what he did. So Zehaf became an officer with an extensive criminal record. So he just, you know, he got really bad with the law and he just could not stop. He had several offenses, several criminal crimes, including larceny, drug possession, and parole violations. So parole violations is when you have like a probation order and stuff like that, and you violate it, which he was doing. So he had received several criminal convictions, at least one of which resulted in a conditional sentence, and also went to jail for 30 days because he broke his probation. So he also had that happen. In November 2001, just after his 19th birthday, he was convicted of the possession of false credit cards and impaired driving. So this dude got dinged. But impaired driving, depending on when you get charged, is usually just a hefty fine, driving prohibition, and then, you know, no jail time, unless you're like a repeated offender who just, you know, refuses to stick with it. Then usually you get dinged and they're like, you're going to jail, you're done, game over, we did our best, but unfortunately you have to go to jail. So he got dinged with impaired driving, and in 2004 he pled guilty to drug possession of marijuana and PCP. He failed to appear for his trial date, which most of them do, in 2006, but appeared 3 years later to plead guilty to marijuana possession and was given a discharge. So this dude had a warrant out for 3 years, didn't do anything, like went incognito, and then was like, actually, I will come back and I will plead guilty to it. And like, for me, you went away for 3 years. You disappeared, you were in hiding, and then all of a sudden you're like, actually, I'm going to come back and I'm going to try to do better. I wouldn't let that guy get a discharge. Like, dude, you're going to jail. Like, I don't even care. You had a warrant for that long. And it should have been a warrant for committal, so he probably should have went to jail forever. So he failed to appear in court, went to jail, and then, you know, was like, I'm not going to come back. So he was discharged. And in 2011, he was charged with robbery. So obviously this guy, even though he got discharged and the judge said, hey, we'll let this guy go, he didn't get it. So he got charged with robbery and uttering threats in Vancouver, but only was convicted of a lesser charge of uttering threats. He claimed that he committed the 2011 robbery so that he would be incarcerated in order to kick his drug habit, which is sad, but, you know, it isn't unlikely. He did receive a psych evaluation, but was deemed fit to stand trial. They're like, this dude just doesn't get it, but we don't care. We'll send him to jail anyways. He was baptized as a Roman Catholic, and he converted to Islam in 2004. So this is when he starts, you know, thinking, the Catholics are bad, we're horrible, I was baptized Catholic, I say Catholic, I'm Catholic, but I don't believe in God or anything like that. But I always like seem to say I'm Catholic just because that's how I was raised, even though none of my family goes to church. None of my family does anything. We don't believe in God. We don't believe in anything. So I always want to do a putty blush, and I always forget to put it on before I put my powder on. It just makes me mad. So he converted to Islam in 2004 and had to attend a Sunni Muslim mosque in British Columbia, the city of Bowbury. I can't pronounce anything. The mosque in Vancouver, British Columbia expelled him for his behavior. It was not normal, said David Ali, the vice president of the mosque. And he said, we'll try to be open to everyone, but people on drugs don't behave normally. Also, an acquaintance recalled that he had an erotic behavior, and he said that the devil was in him. So he said, not today, Satan. You can get out of my mosque. Let me tell you, when I said I hated myself, when I filmed backwards like that, I wanted to kill myself, and not a good look. I got my coffee instead of my wine because I'm not drinking. So Zehaf wanted to leave Canada. He was like, this place sucks. I got kicked out of a mosque. Like, who does that? So he's like, I want out of Canada. I want to leave. An associate of Zehaf reported that he decided he wanted to go back to where his dad was to study Arabic, and Islam. On October 23rd, press conference, the RCMP said that his mom told them that he wanted to go to Syria to join the anti-government rebels in the Syria civil war, aka ISIS. So his mom was like, probably not. That's not a good idea. So she's like, no, you're not doing that. But she denied him and was like, no one's joining ISIS in here, and stated that she told the RCMP that he intended to travel to Saudi Arabia, and he thought he would be happier in an Islamic country where he would share his beliefs. And in a telephone interview with the press, Zehaf's mother said she grievance all the victims of the attacks, not her son. She's like, you know what? This dude doesn't deserve to be, I don't need to be sorry for my son. He did his own actions. Whatever he did is what he did, but the people he murdered was a no. It's a no for me. We don't deserve that. So in an email to the press, she also said, I'm mad at my son, and she said he seems lost and he didn't fit in, which is most of these flipping people. They're always like, no one loves me, Islam, 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 I hate women, poo 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 poo. Like, come on. So at this time, it is now October 2nd, and he arrives in Ottawa because he's like, I just, he wants to change of scenery. He just wants to be different. He wants out. Doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere. So he's like, I need to go somewhere else. So he went to Ottawa just really to get a passport. That's all he wanted, was a passport. And Zehaf had applied for a Canadian passport, and a background check was in progress. He was going to get denied. Horde, boys, we all know. You got how many criminal records? Like, get out of here. You can get a passport. The RCMP Commissioner, Bob Paulson, said that the issue was central in probably driving the attacks that took place. Zehaf, who may also had citizenship over where his dad was, applied for a passport there and a renewal on October 2nd, and was refused at the same day. Again, he's a criminal. He has a criminal record in Canada. He's going to get denied. That's just how it is. So he was pissed that the documents had expired, and Zehaf told the officials that he wanted a new passport so he could go visit family and friends and stay in Ottawa Mission. So he stayed in a homeless shelter while he was in Ottawa near Parliament Hill. According to other residents in the Mission, Zehaf and two other men had been trying to get vehicles. No one knows really, well, now they know why, but they tried to get vehicles. Others said Zehaf and the other two men, they were up to something shifty, pacing around a lot, talking. They were whispering to each other all the time. People were like, these guys are a mess. They need to go, but it is what it is. So they were like, oh yeah, these guys are shifty, but this is a homeless shelter. It's not abnormal. So the vehicle of the attack was purchased of the day, the same day that he decided to do the attack. And people kind of, his mood started to change. He started acting a little different. The mood had changed 3 days before the attack. He started taking more drugs. He reportedly told others that he was anti-Canadian, which is like, we're not the best country in the world. Like, we're not like Sweden or Netherlands or places like that seem pretty cool and chill. But we're pretty good. We're not that bad. We did do some shady stuff, which almost every country does, but anti-Canada, and he prayed that the world was coming to an end, which, you know, sometimes with COVID, I do too. I kind of was like, do we really need to be on Earth right now when there's a thing going on? You know? But we're still here. Yay. We love being alive. So yeah, so he was like, another resident reported that Zehaf had shown a lot of interest in the Parliament building and included asking how easy it was to get into Parliament. To me, I would say it's hard to get into Parliament, but I'm also somebody who's not going to rate it. So during, like, days before the attack, people were saying that Zehaf really got into heated discussions with other people. I was going to use this palette again, the one that has like a bunch of different colors in it. It's got that color and then it's got blue, but I want to go for like a really pinky natural thing. So I guess I'll just go back with my Morphe palette because I don't really see anything else that's really floating my boat. Maybe I'll dip into this one. We'll see how I feel. I have a plan and now I forget it. I think it was this, yeah. So right before the attack, multiple witnesses said that Zehaf had been in heated discussions with another man while waiting to register for his purchase of a vehicle used in the shooting. According to witnesses, Zehaf said, if soldiers bombed your family, would you want to kill them? This guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about, sir? I'm here to buy a van for my 5 kids. I don't really know why you're talking to me. So then staff at the registry office asked him to lower his voice or leave. The purchase was disallowed by the officer because of the out-of-province identification, and the purchase was never registered. So Zehaf passed a piece of junk mail to the car and temporary license permit. So he never actually had it purchased under his name because it was an out-of-province license, which I get. You know, you can't really, you never know what those people are gonna do. They're just gonna flip. A lot of people like do, but if you don't have like proper registration, proper license, stuff like that, it's never gonna work out. So Zehaf obtained a gun. Why? Obtained his gun, has not been detained. At the time of the shooting, Zehaf was legally permitted for possessing a firearm, which is like gray. I know like not everyone with a firearm is going to go shoot up Parliament, but like, do we want to risk it? Is it something that Parliament wants to risk? And the answer is yes, Parliament did risk it. So additionally, he had criminal charges and conviction history of drug use, and the lack of a fixed address would have prevented him from receiving a Canadian firearm license. A knife that Zehaf had with him on October 22 was detained to have originated from a relative's home. So even though he probably shouldn't have been able to have a gun, he got one, and he did have so much criminal records and a lot of charges and stuff laid on him that he probably shouldn't, but somehow he did legally get a gun. There's people out there who just don't care. So shortly before 10 a.m. on October 22nd, 2014, Zehaf arrived at the National War Memorial carrying a rifle, as one does, and then which he was later identified as a 30-30 Winchester Model 94. I feel like we've talked about Winchesters a lot on this show. Level action hunting rifle. If you know what any of that means, please let me know, because I don't. I don't have a clue. My husband has guns. I don't care for guns. I could go without guns. Not a big deal to me. So he had this gun, hunting rifle. He was dressed in blue jeans with a black jacket with a kiwi fish scarf. Oh no, a kafi scarf, I think they're called, over his lower part of his face. So those are like the black and white checkered scarves that you see all the time in ISIS videos, I guess. I don't know. I know it's not just that, but I think that's the most likely for you to trigger in your head that, oh, that's the scarf. So he approached the Corporal Nathan at the time, and he was at the monument in reserve, and he was in a uniform, and he was one of the guards at the memorial at the tomb of the unknown soldiers, I guess is what it's called. At close range, Zehaf shot the corporal twice in the back, fatally wounding him. So just one and done type of thing, which sucks, because yeah, you'll find out why that sucks here in a second. So fatally shooting him, like all others who have stood at the memorial carrying an unloaded firearm and had been provided by the CAF with no particular training in such a situation, because you're supposed to stand there and kind of guard, you know, you're just there for memorial, you're not really there for anything else. So they don't think that you're going to have any troubles whatsoever. They're just like, stand there, look cute, call it a day. And that's what most of them do. But, you know, when you have a crazy person thinking that Canada's going against you, even though they're not, then yeah, you should probably maybe have a weapon. And like, I don't agree with them not having a weapon. So, yeah. So no firearms, no nothing at all. It was only minutes before the end of one of their shifts, which ended at 10 a.m. Kyle Button and Corporal Brandon Stevenson, two other soldiers on the duty, attempted to stop Zehaf. They're like, guess we have to jump this guy because we don't believe in guns. So they tried to stop him and Zehaf, but they were shot by him and forced to flee to the other side of the memorial. So they ran around trying to get away from him because they were like, we don't want to deal with this. And they didn't really want to risk their lives to save, you know, the memorial, which like, just a memorial. If that thing blows up, you build a new one. If you get shot and killed, you're gone forever, right? So they did not want to do that. So they hid around the memorial and they kind of waited. They attempted to stop Zehaf, but they were shot, and they pulled down his scarf, held his rifle over. So once they ran away, Zehaf pulled down his scarf, he held up his rifle and yelled at the top of his lungs, "For Iraq!" Which is like, where is this guy supposed to be? He's like, I want to go to Libya. Nah, actually I'll go to Syria to fight them. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll go to Saudi Arabia where it's more Islamic. And now he's fighting for Iraq. Like, not every country that's run by Muslims is the exact same. Like, this is the reason why everyone says, oh, you're a Muslim, you must be a terrorist. That's not true. People can be Muslims and not be terrorists, but this guy over here is just fucking embodying them all, saying that, like, doesn't matter if you're from Liberia, Saudi Arabia, we're all one and I want to fight for you. No. You're crazy. And his dad also didn't fight for the bad side of the country. He went against them. So, like, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. He's like, come on, choose a damn country that you're fighting for. Are you Islamic? Are you ISIS? Are you whatever Iraq was, the Taliban? Like, what are you? Who are you fighting with? Because at this point, no one knows. So Anthony Wiseman, who was nearby, then attempted to stop Zehaf, but Zehaf attempted to run him over with his car. Why not? The three soldiers then attended to the first corporal who was shot, along with bystanders, then applied first aid to the corporal, attempting to reassure that he would be okay, but unfortunately that didn't work. Other attending to the corporal, who is on the ground, Zehaf returned to his vehicle in a small gray Toyota car, and he is out. He is going to now storm the Capitol, I guess you want to say, but he's now out. He's going to go find somewhere else to go. He drove west along Wilton, a short distance to Parliament Hill, where he abandoned his vehicle. Past scattered bystanders, he ran through a gate in the fence surrounding Parliament. I don't know if you guys have ever been, I've never, but that's what he did. Around Parliament, and carjacked a vehicle assigned to the Minister of the Crown. He then drove to the central block of Parliament building. RCMP officers on patrol in the area witnessed the carjacking and pursued the vehicle to the base of the tower. So, like, there is people there is RCMP officers. Going to Parliament is like going to court. You know, you can't just walk in willy-nilly and be like, I'm here now. You know, you're going to get searched. People don't just let anyone go into Parliament. People don't like when you go into Parliament with guns and you hijack vehicles and you kill soldiers. That's not something that Canada really, like, you know, prides themselves on. A photograph of Zehaf was taken by a tourist at the War Memorial during the shooting. It shows him holding the rifle and wearing a scarf over past his face, with parts of the War Memorial behind him. Ottawa police seized the camera and then took their own photographs of the images using cell phones. French-Canadian journalist William Raymond received a copy of the photograph via the internet anonymously. Apparently a copy of a tweet originated from the Ottawa police of the cell phone picture. Raymond then took a picture of the image as it was displayed on his computer monitor and posted it on Twitter. He was like, let's get this out there. Let's cause a scene, which is like a big thing. Somebody storming Parliament. That hasn't happened since like 1996. So people were like, damn. So the tweet a few hours later, after confirmed the images was retweeted by the ISIL sympathizers, so ISIS, I think, leading anonymous rumors to report the image was from them. They're like, oh my god, ISIS is doing this. Even though, is ISIS in Iraq? Somebody down below, let me know. Is ISIS in Iraq? I know we got some other shit going on in Iraq, but is ISIS a part of it? Or, because what I read, quote me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, or don't quote me at all, that ISIS originated from the Taliban, but the Taliban kicked them out because they thought their views were too radical. That's what I thought. I might be wrong. Let me know down below. This eye looks nice and this one looks a little messed up, so let's try to bring this one together, shall we? Make it look a little bit more like the other one. Looks like it just got punched in the face, but that's okay. So Zehaf entered the central block through the main entrance under the Peace Tower, where Samarin's son was one of the two constables on duty. Son saw the rifle in Zehaf's hand, immediately grabbed it and pulled it towards the floor while yelling, gun, 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 and ensuring the struggle. Son was shot in the foot and had to let go of the attacker, while other RCMP officers decided to show up at this point. They're like, okay, something's going on. We should probably get into this. While other RCMP officers did coverage on Zehaf, Son limped out of the building and calmly told the CBC reporter outside, I will survive. Just inside the central block, Zehaf exchanged gunfire with security and personnel and was wounded. So, good, he was wounded, right? Zehaf, I'll put some nice glitter on my eyes. Do you guys see that nice glitter that's going on my eyes? Nice glitter on my eyes. Zehaf then ran along this hall of honor towards the Library of Parliament. Pursued by RCMP officers, he passed on his left the door of the committee room with Stephen Harper. Damn! Just kidding. Love you, Stephen Harper. I love Stephen Harper. He's just so great. He was the best prime minister. I hate Stephen Harper. Hate's a strong word, and I get that. He's just an idiot. I don't even know how he won being prime minister, but he did. And I'm not saying Justin Trudeau is the shit. He is the guy. He is the bee's knees. He's the one and only. I'm not saying that, but all I'm saying is, in my eyes, the only person worse than, the two people worse than Stephen Harper. One is not even a Canadian official. The first one is a beloved savior of the Alberta healthcare workers and Alberta COVID regime is Jason Kenney. He is horrible and probably way worse than Stephen Harper. And second is Trump. Those are the only two people I say were worse than him. I won't put a dictator, maybe Hitler, but like, you know what? Stephen Harper was bad. He was bad. I don't enjoy him. And that's my rant on Stephen. Let me know if you guys agree. And if you don't, then don't write down below. unfollow me. Just kidding. So Zehaf, you know, running along, Miss Stephen Harper, and then the Conservative members of Parliament too were meeting. Directly opposite of the doors of the caucus room was the leader of the opposing team, which was Tom Maclean, which is also not the best choice out there for MPs. Don't really like him either. The NDP, so he's the NDP MP, where they gathered. The Liberals, as the third party, was holding their caucus meeting in a different chamber altogether around, not even near that. And during the shooting, one bullet went into the NDP's door caucus room. Inside the room, the NDP's MP dove for cover. Across the hall, Harper was briefly hidden in a closet, while Conservatives MP made their barricade against the door, grabbing flag poles and all kinds of things to be like, we're not gonna let Stephen Harper die. But damn. I want a very, very nude lip with this one. So I don't know if I'm gonna go with this color, which is kind of pinky nude, or the OG, my favorite. This one, I think. I use this one in almost every video. So get out of here. Not your time. We'll go with this one. This is Essence. So cheap. My lips are so dry. Maybe I should put a lip liner on. I don't have one that's this light. I'll use this one as a lip liner. We'll just figure this one out. So finally Zehaf reached and kind of entrance of the library, which he was like, this is the place I need to go. The library, and hid out of sight for the RCMP orders, who ordered him to drop his gun and surrender. The location of the enclosed area near the office of the Sergeant at Arms of House of Commons, Kevin Vickers. Vickers was in disguise as a policeman and was administrator with the RCMP before he joined the staff of the House of Commons in 2005. He obtained a 9mm handgun and lockbox and entered the hall. Vickers' security team, which he had chased Zehaf, yelled at Vickers that the suspect was hiding in the encaved area. Vickers immediately ran behind the other side of the near column and dove past the column and fired upwards towards Zehaf. I'm gonna line my lips. Oh shit. Did I mention how dry my lips were? Right here is gross. It's gross to nasty and ugly. Just like me. So witnesses had reported, reports showed RCMP Constable Curtis Bennett leading the tactical formation, firing the shots that killed Zehaf after he fired in his direction. CBC television cameras on scene recorded over 30 shots fired in final gunfight. Footage showed a group of RCMP officers covering near the enclosed area. 2 loud gunshots were heard, then a large amount of gunshots rapidly succeeded, and then silence. So people were like, no one really knows. This is not for me. This was not the choice. This isn't what I wanted. Can she save it? Probably not. And like up close, not the T. I could put like maybe, I don't know. So on November 15th, it was reported that Zehaf's body had remained at the Ottawa's coroner's office for examination. People like, is he crazy or not? The answer was yes. He is crazy. According to the people, the examination must report that the entry and exit wound of the gunshot wound and the toxicology report. So that's why they were keeping him there. See what this does. I don't know how I feel. I really like my eyes until I added my lips. Now I hate it. Maybe I'll add this. Maybe I'll just erase my lips and add this. Let's try this. It is what it is. So they looked for the toxicology report. Was the dude drunk? Was he high? What was his deed? The issue and the accepting of his body for an eventual funeral was problematic, you know. And the Ottawa Muslim Association Mosque, while denouncing what he did as a crime, a terrorist attack against a soldier who was serving the country, we say that he's believing in God. If he's Muslim, that he should be buried. So people were kind of like, do we let this guy be buried, or do we just like kind of like shrug it off and act like he wasn't a person? So they were willing to give him a funeral service. However, on November 18th, the coroner in an interview announced that the body was released over a week ago. The coroner did not release details of the autopsy, when the body was released, or to whom the body was released to. So he just was like, you know, they're like, you don't need to know what I did. So no one knew where he went. No one knew what happened to his body. No one knew nothing. So then on February 26, 2015, the Ottawa Citizens reported that Zehaf was buried in Zaway, Libya, by arrangements made to his family. So people were like, it was his dad. His dad did it. So I'm going to pop my lashes on, because I can't do it while I'm filming. It'll take me a half an hour of silence, and I will be back. She's back with her lashes. Not feeling the lashes, but that is what it is. Not feeling the lips, but I like the eyes. So my final thoughts about this guy was like, again, like I said in the middle of the video, like, who do you stand for? Who's your guy, buddy? Like, you're out here yelling like, I hate Canada, let's go, Iran, or whatever I said, Iraq. But I also like Gaddafi, and my dad's from Libya, and I also want to move to Syria. You know, it's like, what are you talking about, dude? What is your thing? I kind of feel for him, because like I always like pick up a new hobby every now and then, and I find my husband's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you just gotta like master one. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. And that's what this dude is. He was lost. That's all I can say is he didn't know where he wanted to go. He didn't know who he was. Even his mom was like, this dude was gone. Like, no one knew what he was doing. He was into drugs. He was all kinds of stuff. He like, and like, get kicked out of mosque. So clearly he was a Muslim, because no one wanted him. Like, he was a lost cause who did something horrible and went out with a bang. He probably thought he was a part of something, and that's how like people who are so vulnerable and so naive and willing to believe in anyone are the people who will get trapped in these cults, who get trapped in these ideologies, these extremist ideas, and then they just fall victim, and next thing you know, they're joining ISIS, and they're gone, right? Like, that's how it happens. And I think that's what happened with him. Like, he was a trooper. He was like, y'all buddy, we'll do anything, because I don't know. He didn't know who he was. So he was just up and running and ready to grab a gun and fight for whoever he wanted to fight for. And I think he was just a lost cause. And those are my final thoughts about this dude. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? You guys didn't like it? What do you guys think about the story? It was a little different. I like that face. It was a little different. It was a little sad, you know, Parliament, some dude just standing there with no gun, get shot. But again, that probably happens all the time around the world. We just don't really hear it as much in Canada. So let me know what you guys' final thoughts on this story was. Mine again was like, who are you fighting for, buddy? No one knows. Let me know down below what stories you guys want me to do next. Again, thank you guys for coming out and spending your evenings, mornings, or afternoon with me, listening to me talk about a true crime that's happened here in Canada. If you guys are watching, thank you for watching me put this atrocity on my face. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I like the eyes. I like the idea of the eyes. It's just I feel like the rest of it fell apart. But that's just me. So let me know what you guys' final thoughts on, if you liked the look, if you didn't. And, you know, I'll be back on Thursday. Again, one more subscriber away to a giveaway. So please like, share, send this video to your mom, send this video to your friends. Send this to whoever you want, you know, let people know I'm out here doing my thing on the interwebs. So please, please, please get it out there. One more subscriber, and I'll be doing a giveaway. I don't care if you live across the country, in a different state. I do not care. I will send you whatever you win. So please, I just got tired. Really tired there for a second. So please guys, again, like and share my videos if you guys can. There is a little button down below that if you click it, you will be linked to all of my YouTube, and you will also get a notification when I post my videos, so you won't miss a thing. So yeah, guys, thank you for coming and spending your time with Jordan. I will also be linking down my socials, and I will see you guys again next Thursday. Bye.